I think a lot of us wake up one day and realize we built the life we never actually chose. We've checked boxes, we've built careers, we've raised children, we've stayed in relationships, we've bought homes. We did everything we are supposed to do, and yet something still felt unfinished. Not because we weren't successful, but because somewhere along the way, we stopped asking ourselves one question: is this actually the life I want? I don't think we're lacking ambition. I think we're lacking intention. And that's exactly why I started this channel. My name is Alicia. On paper, I'm a realtor. But honestly, that's probably the least interesting thing about me. What fascinates me isn't houses, it's people. I've called Hampton Roads home. This community has watched me grow a business, raise my son, celebrate incredible wins, and walk through seasons that stretch me in ways I've never expected. So while many of these conversations begin right here in coastal Virginia, I hope they travel far beyond your zip code. Because whether you're buying a home in Virginia Beach, starting over in Chicago, investing in Dallas, chasing a dream in California, the questions we're asking are the same. How do I build a life that actually feel like ours? For years, I've had the privilege of standing beside people during some of their biggest decisions of their lives. I've watched newlyweds buy their first home. I've watched families welcome new babies. I've helped people navigate divorce, military relocations, retirements, and fresh starts. And somewhere along the way, I realized something. I wasn't just helping people buy homes, I was standing beside them while they rebuilt their lives. That realization changed the way I looked at everything because I stopped believing I was in the real estate business. I realized I was in the decision making business. Every closing table represented a decision. Every move represents courage. Every new set of keys represents someone choosing a different future. And that made me ask a bigger question: what actually changes someone's life? Is it the house, or is it the decision they made before they ever walked through the front door? The more I thought about it, the more convinced I became that real estate isn't the thing that changes lives. Ownership is. Ownership of our finances, of our time, our choices, our peace, ownership of our future. Because ownership creates options and options create freedom. And that's what this channel really is about. Yes, we'll absolutely talk about real estate. We'll talk about buying and selling. We'll talk about market trends. We'll talk about negotiations. We'll talk about investing. But those conversations are really just a doorway into something much bigger. How do how how do we build lives we're proud of? How do we make decisions today that our future selves would thank us for? How do we stop living by default and start living on purpose? And if you followed any of my content, you've probably heard me say two words over and over again: she's calling. People often ask me what that means. And to me, she isn't another woman. We've had that. She's the version of yourself you're postponing, the woman who's been waiting patiently while you've convinced yourself you're not ready. She's the one who's whispering: apply for the job, start the business, take the trip, buy the house, invest the money, walk away from what no longer fits you. Choose yourself. Every major decision I've ever made started with that feeling. Not certainty, not confidence, not a quiet pull. Almost like another version of myself was saying, Alicia, it's time. That's where she's calling came from. It's an invitation not to become someone else, but to become a more fully evolved version of myself. As I thought about this channel, I asked myself one question: what do I actually believe? Not what gets views, not what sounds motivational. What do I genuinely believe? I believe success without peace is expensive. I believe beautiful homes matter because they're the backdrop of the lives we build inside them. I believe wealth should be intentional, not performative. I believe financial literacy changes generations. I believe starting over is not failure. I believe reinvention is one of the bravest things we can do. I believe every decision either expands your options or quietly limits them. And I believe every woman deserves to understand money, ownership, opportunity, not because someone else will rescue them, but because confidence grows when knowledge does. Those beliefs are going to shape every conversation we have here. You'll also hear me talk about something I call buy, build, bank. People assume it's a real estate strategy. It's a life strategy. Buy, buy the assets, buy the opportunity, buy the freedom. Invest in things that appreciate, not financially, but personally. Build, build the wealth, build the confidence, build the healthy relationships, build your character, build a reputation that speaks before you do. Build a life that reflects your values, and then bank. Bank the equity, bank the wisdom, bank the memories, bank the peace, bank the experiences. Bank a legacy that outlives you. To me, Buy, Build, Bank isn't a slogan. It's a reminder that every season of life asks something different of us. Sometimes we're buying, sometimes we're building, sometimes we're enjoying what we've built. So, what can you expect from this community? We're going to have conversations about money. We're going to have conversations about real estate, business, leadership, books, travel, style, motherhood, health, mindset, purpose, legacy, not because those things are separate, but because they're all connected. They're all part of building a life. And here's what I hope happens if you choose to spend time here every week. I hope you become harder to manipulate, better with your money, more thoughtful in your decisions, more courageous when it's time to start over, more intentional about the people and places you allow into your life and into your home. Don't bring that bad energy over here. More committed to building a future that actually belongs to you. Before I leave you today, I want to share something that I hope becomes a part of this community. A reminder we come back to often. We believe beautiful homes matter. We believe wealth should be intentional. We believe ownership creates options. We believe starting over is never too late. We believe women deserve rooms they don't have to ask permission to enter. And above all, we believe the life you're building deserves to be built on purpose. Thank you for spending time with me. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. Join me and continue Join me as we continue to build this community together. And before you go, I have one question. What are you building? Tell me in the comments. I can't wait to read your answers. I'll see you next week.